Welcome back guys to another video. This is my 2026 Miami Grand Prix driver ratings. Enjoy. Valtteri Bottas kicked things off. He started the sprint 19th, finished at 19th. Started the main race 19th and finished 18th. So relatively mediocre weekend from Bottas, but he was in the bottom four, but I don't really know how to put this. It's like not the worst, but definitely not the best as well. 6 out of 10 for Bottas. And yes, in case you haven't watched my video since last year, I have shifted the scores below the start and finish positions of each driver so that it's easier for me to talk and you all understand the grade. Sergio Perez started the sprint 17th, finished at 16th. Started the main race 20th, finished at 16th as well. I'm going to give Checo a 7 out of 10. It's just slightly higher than just slightly higher than Bottas. Because he kind of outperformed him the entire weekend, except for the main race quali, but it's just one session. The main race is the main race and the main sprint is where it actually matters, but Perez did better. Now moving to Franco Colapinto, started sprint 8th, finished 10th. Started the main race 8th and finished at 7th. Best career finish for him and it's another point for him. So what else is that going to be? 10 out of 10. Not much explanation needed, honestly. Congrats to his best finish. And also Messi was there. So, yeah. Pierre Gasly, now his teammate. Started sprint 10th, finished the 8th. Started main race 9th, did not finish the race. I'm giving Gasly a 8.5 out of 10. It was a really solid performance until Lawson came and catapulted him. Other than that, he did very well. And no, he looked to be slightly on the back foot, slightly behind Colapinto this weekend, but still, it wasn't the worst. Still in the top 10 consistently and scored points again. So yeah, 8.5. Gabriel Bortoleto started the sprint 11th, he got disqualified. Started the main race 21st and finished 12th. I'm giving Bortoleto a 8 out of 10 because he wasn't doing too badly in the sprint qualifying and the main race. He almost finished in the top 10, and the sprint he got disqualified, so we don't really talk about that. And 21st for qualifying, maybe something went wrong there, I'm not sure. Anyways, next up, Nico Hülkenberg started the sprint 12th, did not start the sprint. Started the main race 10th, did not finish the main race. I think it was a hydraulic failure or something. 7.5 for Hülkenberg. It was a very decent effort from him. And yeah, honestly, if he finished the race, it could have been much higher. Maybe 8.5, 9, who knows. Maybe he could have pulled off a masterclass or something. But I guess we'll never know. Now we move on to Esteban Ocon. Started the sprint 16th, finished it 11th. Started the main race 14th, finished in 13th. I'm giving Ocon a 6 out of 10. Very, very average race from him. And it's he's underperforming given where the car is at. So I do expect to see more from the experienced driver like him. So yeah, I'm only giving a 6 out of 10 for him. Now move on to Oliver Behrman. Started sprint 13th, finished at 12th. Started main race 12th, finished at 11th. I'm giving him 8.5 out of 10. Considering that he just came back from an injury and he's already fighting for some of the top 10 positions, I think it's really worth a mention here. But I can't give him a 9 out of 10 just because of whatever happened. He still didn't score points in the end. But he came really, really close in 11th once again. That's why I'm giving him the credit by saying it's an 8.5. Next on, we have Lance Stroll. Started the sprint 21st, finished it 17th. Started the main race 18th, finished it 17th. 5 out of 10. Not the worst by any means, but he's still being outperformed by Alonso. But it's kind of expected that will happen though, so who knows. But I'm just going to give him a 5 out of 10 for now. Next up, Fernando Alonso. Started the sprint 20th, finished it 15th. Started the main race 17th, finished it 15th. I'm giving him a 9 out of 10. Very, very decent effort from Alonso, finishing both races, and P15 at the 22 driver grid when your car is like nonsense. I respect that. Arvid Lindblad, the next one to be rated. Started sprint 22nd, did not start the sprint. Started the main race 16th, finished 14th. I'm only giving him 2 out of 10 this week for Lindblad. His Australia race was really, really strong, but other than that, he's been honestly quite underwhelming. This race as well was no exception. He was like close to invisible, and if like every time I saw him, it's like, oh, something happened to him. Oh, he did not start the race. Yeah, so someone please explain what happened, or else I'll just treat him as like he just had a bad weekend. Liam Lawson is the next one to be rated. Started the sprint 15th, finished at 14th. Started the main race 11th, did not finish. I'm giving him 2.5 out of 10. Although it was a decent weekend all the way up to the race, in the race it was where he made the most costly mistake, making contact with Gasly, sending him flying, and then he had damage after that, he had to retire the car. So yeah, I'm only giving him a 2.5 out of 10. Oh yeah, that adds 1 to the tally of the people Liam Lawson hit. Now move on to Carlos Sainz. Started sprint 14th, finished at 13th. Started main race 13th, finished at 9th. I'm giving him a 8.5 out of 10. Another 2 points secured for Williams. Great job. So, and the rest of the weekend was running relatively close to the top 10. So yeah, I'm not really gonna penalize him much. Just 8.5. To be honest, I think that's the maximum potential of the Williams this week already. Considering his teammate Albon, which we'll move on to right now, finished just slightly behind him in 10th for the main race. The sprint, he qualified 18th. Sprint, he finished 18th as well. In the main race, he qualified 15th and finished 10th as I mentioned. I'm giving him a 7.5 out of 10, just 1 grade lower than Carlos, because he's been definitely the second driver behind Sainz this entire weekend. So yeah. Lewis Hamilton, the first Ferrari driver to be rated. Started the sprint 7th, finished at 7th. Started the main race 6th, finished at 6th. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Honestly, quite disappointing for Hamilton. I expected more, but apparently he wasn't gelling well with the car, which I understand. So take a bit more time to adapt to the car, I hope. And I hope that things will be more smooth sailing for him. As for Charles Leclerc, started the sprint 4th, finished 3rd. Started the main race 3rd, finished 8th. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. Definitely a better weekend than Lewis, but spun twice in the main race. Definitely have to deduct some points for that. So 8 out of 10. Yeah. He was riding in like the podium positions. Then he dropped. He spun on lap 1, fell down, and then after that at the end he was like running 3rd, 4th again, and then he spun and fell down to P 4, 5, 6. I can't remember. Then after that he got penalty, so P8. Isaac Hadjar started the sprint 9, finished it 9th. Started the main race on the pit lane and did not finish it. I gave him a 6.5 out of 10. Honestly disappointing considering that he started the season quite well, almost matching Verstappen. However, he did almost score a point in the sprint, which, hey, valid effort. Next up, Max Verstappen. Started the sprint 6th, finished 5th. Started the main race 2nd, finished 5th. I'm giving him a 10 out of 10. Although on paper it does not sound like a 10 out of 10, considering the Red Bull is like really, really bad right now. What he did this weekend is, wow, commendable. And in fact, he was even fighting for the podium places for the entire race, and he only fell away at the end because like his tires fell off. Kimi Antonelli up next. Started the sprint 2nd, finished it 6th. Started the main race 1st, finished 1st. Also another 10 out of 10 weekend for Antonelli. The sprint portion of the sprint portion of the weekend was a bit messy for him, but the main qualifying and the main race were perfectly executed by him to win his 3rd race in a row. And he has a stat now with fastest to 3 poles consecutively or something, and then 3 race wins consecutively, and then the first driver to convert the first 3 poles into the first 3 race wins. So great job, Antonelli. Josh Russell is the next driver I'll be rating. Started sprint 6th, finished it 4th. Started the main race 5th, finished it 4th. I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. he was significantly on the back foot compared to Antonelli. He does say that Miami is one of the tracks he struggles the most with, so he really has to get it sorted out. Yeah, but he's gonna keep falling behind Antonelli. I believe he's like 9 points behind right now. They are followed by Oscar Piastri. Piastri started the sprint third and finished in second, while he started the main race in 7th and finished in 3rd. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. Honestly, not a bad performance, but however, he's been in the shadows of another driver we'll get into a bit. I think you know who he is. Lando Norris, his teammate. Yeah, this one I'm only going for 8 out of 10. And now Lando Norris started the sprint first, finished first. Started the main race 4th, finished 2nd. I'll give him a 9.5 out of 10. He definitely had potential to win that race, but I think a few errors cost him up, and that's why I deduct like half a mark. But you can definitely make the argument that he got 10 out of 10 as well. I'll respect that. Yeah. And here are my driver ratings rankings. In first, I've got Verstappen with a score of 10. Second, Colapinto with a score of 10. And rounding off the podium places is Antonelli, also with a score of 10. Fourth goes to Alonso with a score of 9 out of 10. Norris, Sainz, Behrman and Gasly all with 8.5s in 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th respectively. Piastri, Leclerc and Bortoleto stay in 9th, 10th and 11th, 8, 8 and 8. 12th goes to Albon with a score of 7.5. Hulkenberg in 13th also gets a score of 7.5. Russell, Hamilton and Perez with 7 out of 10s stick it into 14th, 15th and 16th. 17th goes to Hadjar with a score of 6.5. 18th goes to Ocon with a score of 6. Bottas also with a score of 6 goes to 19th. 20th goes to Stroll with a score of 5, the last person who passed. 21st goes to Lawson with a score of 2.5. And last place, 22nd, goes to Arvid Lindblad with a score of 2 out of 10. Disappointing weekend for the RB, considering that they are last two. V-Cup or Racing Bulls or whatever you call them. Bingo update. I don't think there's any updates yet, but there's like we made progress on the Lawson crashing the drivers. That's 1 out of 5. Apparently there's some FIA drama, but I was not sure what happened and it wasn't like that public, so I never left that marked. If anyone knows anything that should be marked, tell me in the comments. Anyway, that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.